So I'm out walking and had zero plans to come live, but this was with me, and I said, I'm putting this out there because I had an unhelpful, well, I don't know if unhelpful, just it was just illuminated the limit of thought, even creating thought, replacing thoughts. So if you don't know, I'm Master NAIMA, and I am the Power Master. So I was born with very specific abilities in navigating power in other dimensions. So all humans are born with power. And so to my knowledge, there's nobody who understands not just that there are dimensions of power and levels of power, but that how to navigate those dimensions and what it takes to actually tap into and why it even matters and why all dimensions are not for all people. So what do I mean by manifesting beyond thought? So let me say this. This is what I'm getting ready to say is extremely high level. It is beyond normal manifestation. It is beyond the science of getting rich. It is beyond Think and Grow Rich. It is beyond typical goddess creation and manifestation and how to manifest your millions, etc. It is beyond these things. So when I say manifesting beyond thought, let's go there with thought, right? So I was just live inside of my master tribe, and I said to listeners, I said, just think of your highest thought. What's the highest thought that you have about anything, about your desire for peace on earth, about anything, your highest thought? Just think of, if you can right now, or even when we get off here so you can really sink into this, what is the highest thought that you either have or have had, or even the highest thought that might come into your mind, because I'm giving you the exercise to call in the highest thought ever. I want you to see what I mean by manifesting beyond thought. So one of the examples that I gave was my world-class destination chateau for folks to, when I say folks, I mean humans from all over the world to come, of everything from those of the lowest class and the highest class and in between. And this being the place where they come to know God, where they experience transformative beauty, where they have the first experience, perhaps the first experience of their life, of submitting to power and being empowered. This gorgeous beacon that's beyond opulence. It's of the highest experience that a human can have. And I said, this power that I'm referring to, it's beyond that thought and whatever highest thought that you would come up with. So I want you to, take note of this. And when you hang up here with me, go write out what your highest thought is. Okay? And just imagine yourself creating that thing, right? And so what happens is other thoughts come to match that thought. Other ideas, people, resources come to meet that thought, whatever the thought is that you come up with. And then you'll have other thoughts that are not so benevolent, right? About whatever the thing is. It's ridiculous. It's not for this lifetime. It's not for somebody like you with your background. It's right. So just play with this. I want you to really experience what I mean by manifesting beyond thought. And even me, when I was just walking, and I said this to myself, I said, oh, this is manifesting beyond thought. When I was looking at this other dimension of power that I was talking about on my live this morning, how the first one, a thought that came to mind was, well, shit, I'm not going to have no clients if I start teaching about that. And what I mean when I say no clients, I mean not no clients at all, but no clients in this realm and talking about power in this way, right? That's another thought. And the science of getting rich and Think and Grow Rich, what they tell you to do is to help retrain your mind. They tell you to hold on to the vision of the thing that you want, right? So before I go any further, I want to say the science of getting rich and Think and Grow Rich work to a degree. Once you master that and you start to work to manifest bigger things, and I'm talking about over the long term, because you can manifest $100,000 like easy within like, 30, with some practice, obviously. So this is advanced. I told you that, right? So they tell you hold the vision. In The Science of Getting Rich, Think and Grow Rich, and similar books, they tell you to hold the vision. They tell you to have a burning desire. They tell you to, constantly churn and work that desire. Keep your attention on it. Keep your vision there. Only look for that. Block out any thought or any idea or any person or anything that could distract, that is not in alignment with, that is not an energetic match with. Avoid, remove, focus in, laser in, consistently, persistently with that burning desire until you have it. That's the classic manifestation strategy, and it works, okay? It works. Now, my experience with that is, it is work, right? And in the way that I just described it, you can feel the burning of it. I've experienced this. You've experienced the burning of it. Burning desire, the focus, the concentration, right? And then as you get more advanced in this, you still have the burning desire, and there's still the churning and the connection in one with, but there's just a maturity around it, a calmness around it, right? So this is as you start to get more advanced with manifesting with these kind of strategies. When I talk about manifesting, I mean major things, big things, playing a big game, right? Manifesting things that are on some level not even of this world. They're of your mind, but they're not of this world, right? So then when you start looking at something big, right? The highest thought, right? So a big, something that's massive, like beyond, what might feel beyond a stratosphere, right? And you go to do those things, there's a burning, right? Let's say the burning desire, the big thing, right? And you start to apply those same practices that you've applied from The Science of Getting Rich, Think and Grow Rich, and whatever else any magician that you know who's teaching manifestation, or any leader, coach, shaman, anybody who's teaching, and you employ everything that they teach you, right? That has worked. So I'm not even saying it doesn't work. That has worked to a degree. And when you start bringing in something from other dimensions, like something that's really extraordinary, so obviously if you're not looking at bringing in anything extraordinary, you won't even care about this and you won't resonate. So you can go. But if you are, right, like something that you really feel like you probably won't even see in your lifetime because it's so massive, right? Like there's plenty of like Obama becoming president. So many black people didn't even believe that a black man could be president. The different destinations like the Ritz in Paris, that is massive. Just think of whatever is massive for you, right? And fill it in here. When you go to employ these old practices, these ways that you have mastered already, you start to notice how there's a kind of like, it's not happening, not happening. It's like there's something more. Like this has been my experience. Like there's something like this. You start to feel the amateurness about it. And like this has worked, but it's not going to get me there. And you start pushing and feeling this sort of something else. That something else is the manifesting beyond thought. That's what it is. It's the manifesting beyond thought. It is the fact that, first of all, you must coming to the absolute knowing that the thing that you're creating is of another dimension, because the power that you're accessing is of another dimension, and it's beyond thought. And that's what fucks us up, because we're looking to think it. We're looking for it to show in a thinking way. We're looking for it to come into the mind like, oh, I see that. I know that. We're looking for it to be a thoughtful kind of thing like that. But the dimension that you're pulling from is not of thought. It's of a higher essence. And I don't even know the word for it right now, but I just know it as so. And you will know it as so if you are really playing this game of bringing something into the planet that is not currently of the dimension. Right? So there's change that we're looking for, and there's different kinds of change that each of us want. Some of us want a kind of change that people can see right now. They can get right now. They're like hungry for it. You feel that hunger for a certain kind of change. Like we want Trump out of office. We want, right? And there's like a critical mass of people who can see that change and want that change. Then there's other layers of change, like higher, and then another higher, and then another levels of change that are of other dimensions. And so this is what happened when, like, Nikola Tesla, people thought he was crazy because he was pulling from other dimensions in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And so people who are called ahead of their time, they're only called ahead of their time once years later, once everybody else catches up. So this, you understand what I'm saying? This is power right here. This has zero to do with power over or feminine power. Like, the way people talk about power now, it's none of that. It's none of that. It's other dimensions of power. That's beyond thought. Fuck yes. I just had to get this out. It was not my plan. I'm just out here walking and I was like, get it out now, get it out now. So if you get what I'm talking about, tell me something. I see Maria, if you, gosh, it feels so good to get this out. Beyond thought, creating beyond thought, creating beyond thought, creating beyond thought. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, wow, 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 wow. All right, that's it. I'm out.